So I was online looking at different tools in Illustrator, and I noticed this logo on abduzidu.com, and I liked it. I remember the Chrome logo, and so I tried making one myself, and I came up with this and also this design. They're very close to the same, and I'm going to show you today how to make something like this. It's not that difficult to really do. So let's go to File, New, and I'm going to do Landscape Orientation, and you should be on RGB. If you don't see this, you got to tap that little triangle. And screen resolution is just fine. Alright, and first thing I'm going to do is hold down the rectangle tool and get to the ellipse tool and hold shift. I want a perfect circle, so that's why I hold down shift. And then I need to copy and paste it, and I'm going to make the circle a little bit smaller, or you can just draw a new circle, not a big deal. And then also I'm going to kind of make it more of an oval shape like that. Okay. I actually need 4 of these, so I'm going to copy and paste, paste, paste. So I actually have 4 of these here, smaller circles. And if I highlight all of them, what happens is over here, the alignment tab, I have all these alignment tools. Or if you have multiple objects selected, there should be this bar up here with these alignment tools. So I'm going to do horizontal alignment and also vertical alignment. Okay. And when I move these, I'm going to start moving them and hold down shift, and that way I want them to line up all the way to the edge. So I start moving it, tap shift, and then continue on. Now, this bottom and top one, though, is a little bit different. What I'm going to have to do is rotate those as well. So I'm going to select it. As long as I'm on the selection tool, this bounding box should show up. And I'm going to hold down shift and rotate it 90 degrees, and then drag down to the bottom. Same thing with this one as well. So 90 degrees and up to there. There, should look like that. That was the most difficult part. Now I'm going to select this. Let me show you something else too, by the way. If I hit Control Y, it shows all the lines. Okay. Yeah. So that's the design underneath. Now, if you want yours to look a little different, this one I'm going to show you how to do this one exactly. You see along the edge, it's just 4 colors. You'll see on this one there's actually multiple colors, and there's some on the edge as well. If you want to do that, you just need to keep this space up here. But you mess around with this. If yours isn't the same, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to select all of these and go over to Pathfinder, and there's this tool. It's called Divide, and basically anything overlapping gets cut up. So now it looks like this instead. Now it doesn't let me select individual pieces anymore. I have to double click in there, and that way it shows me that I'm in the group now, and then I can edit those individual pieces. I don't really want to have it in a group right now, so I can click back. I can just double click in the white area so this thing's gone. What I can do instead is I can just right click ungroup, okay, and then I can just grab these individual points. Alright. So I am going to start at the top here with this piece right here. I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to select these points. So this one, this one, this one, this one. And that's the shape that I'm going for, okay? So I'm going to start with, I'll start with red on top, and see all these are red, and then I'm going to use this button here. It's called Unite, and you can see now it's just that swoosh right there, okay? And then I'm going to repeat the process with some different colors. So next one's going to be yellow, and I'm going to press Unite again. Oops, not divide, Unite, and same thing again. And you could choose different colors than what I'm using. Oops, I didn't mean to choose that one though. That's okay. You can choose different colors. Use whatever you want. Some people just pick 2 colors and 2 different shades, and that'd look fine too. Oh, I don't mean to be selecting that one. It thinks it's grouped. No, it's not grouped. What's going on? Oh, it's not split right there. That's a problem. And this is okay to point out. I just want to show that I wasn't actually over it, so it didn't actually cut the pieces the way I wanted. But it's better now, so I'm going to zoom back out here. I had to pause it for a moment. Alright, so I'm going to select this piece, this one, this one, this one, and that's going to be my last color. I'm going to use blue. And then I should also unite those. I didn't unite these, so I can go back, select those, unite. Why aren't you uniting? Alright, it must think it's together. So I'm going to ungroup that. Let's try that again. So selecting those, unite. There we go. Had problems with that, so I just grabbed my other logo quick. So that's what you should have, though, after you have them united and separated. Usually they actually have the stroke on. That doesn't look as good typically, so I would recommend always turn the stroke off, especially if you want it to be more 3D looking. So keep the stroke off, and then what we need to do is apply gradients. So actually, if I just highlight all those and just hit the gradient button, it's going to look like that, which is fine. Then I'm just going to grab individual ones, and if I open up my gradient tablet here, so like I started with red, so I'm going to put in red for white, and then I could keep black over here, and I could just use my gradient tool and just have the black be farther in like that. If I go like this, you can see it's actually black. I just want it to be slightly black, so I could go like that or something like that. And notice on this toolbar there's actually a slider right here. That's that white little dot right there, and I can slide how much of the red I want to show or whatever else. I can go with that, or if I want, I could actually just drop down another red down here, and I could double click on that red and choose a darker red. Instead of using black, I could just pull that black out of there. I'm going to let you choose whichever way you want to do. It's probably better to choose a red instead of having it go to black. That's up to you though. And then I'm going to do the same for like the yellow. We don't actually want yellow though. We want to keep a gradient, so I'm going to drop the yellow down into here. And instead of black, I'm going to put another yellow down there. But I'm going to get rid of this yellow, and I can double click on this yellow here, and I can choose a darker yellow by going to the bottom here. Or they have swatches there too, but I don't like how it gets to be kind of a poopy looking color. So instead I'm going to take the lighter one, okay, and I'm actually going to just choose this one to be considerably lighter. Alright, then I use my gradient tool, and I want to change the direction. I want it to be darkest in the middle, so if I go like that, oops, wrong direction. There we go. More like that. Okay, cool. Get it the way you want though. And then again, I'm going to do green. Now, if you understand this concept fully, just move on. Don't need to watch all 4 of these. I'm just choosing colors here. Again, I could double click this one and make this one a deeper green. Alright, and again, I can use my gradient and my slide from the outside in like that. And then for the last one, it's blue. Oops. I can drag that blue down here, or I could even grab this navy blue, get rid of the white, and go like that instead. And again, I'm using my gradient tool to draw that. Now that's actually not really blue; it's kind of getting on the purplish side. I can just use my color picker too and just pick a darker blue in there as well. And then my gradient tool, adjust this however I want. And that's pretty good. There. So there's my logo. Looks pretty good that way. If you just bring in some text, like I have this, I drew this earlier. This could be like "Oh Snap Productions" or something. So that looks pretty good. I'd be satisfied with that. Now, one thing I should say is, some people rather have these separated. I think it looks more 3D, like it's a single object, but you could put a stroke on it. You could do a black stroke and then increase the weight. That doesn't really look good to me, though. Instead of black, use white, and then it kind of separates it. That doesn't look bad. I think you'd have to maybe make it a little thicker to be noticeable. That looks kind of cool like that. The other thing you could do is, instead of using that type of stroke, you could drop it down to this artistic looking one, and you see it kind of gives it like a rough look. And you could increase the stroke so you can actually see a little better. I don't know if that matches my text very well, but that's an option. You could also drop this down and open up your open brush library, and they have things like bristle brushes, and I could choose something like this. It's taking a second. Kind of gives a sheen to it. They have a whole bunch of different ones in there that you could try out. Again, I'd have to probably put a gradient or some sort of shine on my O snap for that to work. And I can just show that quick. All you need to do is, like, let's say I take an oval here and I put it on top, okay, and I make this oval white, and I can click transparency, and I can drop that down to like 40, okay, and if I just click off it, you can see that looks pretty good. See, it's kind of got its own little shine on there. You could even maybe rotate a little bit. Kind of gives a look like that on there as well. And I could also, oops, sorry about that, and I could just leave it like that. But I kind of like it the way it was, so I'm just going to undo that. You can keep that the way it is, but that's how you could, oops. But I like it like that myself. Hope you learned a lot. Again, if you'd rather have it look like one of these other ones, then you just got to pick a little bit different shapes. But there you go. Enjoy.